Slightly different video for you, but I thought you would enjoy this. Alan Finkel is the former chief scientist and author of Australia's National Hydrogen Strategy. He admits that actually hydrogen is not the solution for the general population of vehicles on the roads here in Australia, which is a big thing given his position. So he suggests that hydrogen may still have a role in long-distance heavy haulage vehicles, such as big trucks, trains, high-powered trains. High-powered trains are being used in Europe, for example, and Canada as an alternative to diesel and non-electrified railroads. This seems a fairly good idea to me. So long as the energy that is used to pump the hydrogen, this is where hydrogen technology gets a bit sticky. So try and follow this. This is a bit of a complex topic to discuss. So anyway, this seems a fairly good idea to me, so long as the energy that is used to pump the hydrogen is as clean as it can be. So generally, I'm a supporter of hydrogen, but only for large, heavy things like trains or trucks. And I think it isn't viable for the everyday vehicle to have hydrogen as the power source. Batteries are a far simpler solution, even though they are fairly complex things. The National Hydrogen Strategy is basically a group that was put together to figure out how we can use hydrogen to make the country cleaner, and to try and understand if we can actually make good use of it here in Australia, which I suspect we probably could. Here is the executive summary if you wanted to pause the video to read it. I'll just put the first bit on, which is the first paragraph, and then I'll pull out to the full first page. It's interesting and probably a good read if you're into reading long documents about energy like me. It makes no sense to want hydrogen technology to work if you don't deal with the massive amounts of electricity that's used to actually pump it into your car and generate it. So something like 7 kilowatt hours of electricity is needed just to pump 1 litre of hydrogen into your car, which the hydrogen itself will then have about 40 or 50 kilowatt hours of energy in that 1 litre. But to create the hydrogen, it took about 60 kilowatt hours of electricity to create it. So these numbers are from a hydrogen supplier here in Australia, who was quite happy to talk about it actually, which is surprising. But if you browse the internet and even read quite detailed documents online about it, you'll notice the numbers vary quite a bit, but regardless, they're all pretty big numbers. Finkel, who owns both an electric vehicle and a hydrogen electric car, the Toyota Mirai, emphasizes the ease and efficiency of recharging an EV compared to a hydrogen car. He sees potential for hydrogen refueling stations at the endpoints of train lines, for example, making logistics easier for hydrogen-powered trains, possibly planes too. This is quite a complex thing, very, very complex, but this has shown to be only viable for short to medium haul flights. Thanks to anybody for joining on Patreon or YouTube memberships, or anybody that has thought about buying me a coffee. Links to these are below in the description. As I mentioned earlier, this allows me to keep on creating these videos, which involves investing a tremendous amount of time in thorough research, and my goal is to provide you with accurate information, as accurate as I can get it, that you may not find readily available in the mainstream media. The easiest way to help, if you're a bit skint, is to just press the like button, which shows YouTube that people like the video. It makes a huge difference because I'm trying to do this as my day job, and when you chip in, you're actually helping me spread information out there to help boost the uptake of EVs. So in particular, the cheaper end of the market, which we really need to get going, and help populate it with lots of cheaper technology. I've also seen over the last 5, 10, 15 years, people seem to come and go saying that hydrogen is coming, or say that it's the next big thing, but it hasn't taken off yet, which is interesting. It's more common in places like Japan, for example, but it still isn't that commonplace. and it is quite an expensive technology just to maintain the pumps, for example. I personally think if they can make the prices of the cars go down and figure out a reasonable system to get clean energy to power the setup, then I'm all in for it. But they have to do this in quite a lot of places around the globe. What do you think about it all? Hydrogen technology, are you against it or are you for it? Or if you're a bit older, when was the first time you heard about hydrogen? Because I've heard about hydrogen technology being mentioned in the 80s and 90s and then in the noughties, and I've had comments, really interesting comments on this. And so any comments, just put below. I'm interested to read them. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button so that YouTube know that people are enjoying it, and subscribe for more daily videos about electric vehicles.